What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norin 89 here, bringing you another video of physical media one. As today we are going to be discussing Nosferatu on Blu-ray, the extended cut, talking about this film and also going over some of the special features. There are a few special features on here and just, talking up this film because this is an amazing vampire film. And after watching this one again, this one still lands. I really want to revisit a lot of other vampire films, and maybe you'll see a top 10 list coming to the channel soon, because I actually did a poll on my channel where a lot of people talked about what videos they liked of mine. I was going to continue doing a bunch of my videos and all my videos, but I wanted to kind of gauge my audience, and a lot of them said ranking videos was the number one, and then movie reviews was number two as the favorite videos that I post. So maybe you'll see a top 10 vampire ranking video coming pretty soon. Let's get into this, where we talk about the Blu-ray for Nosferatu. Roll it. Here we go to my poor attempt at Count Orlok, the voice and everything. It is a black omen to journey in such poor health. You will remain here, well, rest yourself. So yes, after revisiting Nosferatu, especially even the extended cut, it's not that much longer. The extended cut is only about 4 minutes, or like 4 minutes and 20 seconds longer than the theatrical cut. There mainly is just a couple added lines to some of William Dafoe's scenes when he's in the movie, and also a couple new shots and lingering shots that they have towards the beginning of the film, but it's nothing too major that really affects the story or anything like that. It's just a more indulgent cut of the film, and like I said, 4 minutes is not really that much longer, so the extended cut is pretty much the way to go. But I did watch both versions of this film just to compare. So as I said, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is one of my favorite vampire films of all time. I really have to dive deep and revisit a lot of vampire films before I nail down where it's at, but in terms of top 10, I would say it feels like it would be in the top 10. This is my favorite version of the Nosferatu story, because for me, I'm not really attached to the Max Schreck version. I'm not really attached to any of the other versions or anything like that. Even the one that they did, Shadow of the Vampire, with Billy Bob Thornton and William Dafoe previously, where it's the making of the Nosferatu film, I didn't really even jive with that movie. They're not awful movies. They're just ones I don't gravitate towards. And this is going to be the Nosferatu film that I could see over the years me gravitating towards it. And so there's the release right there. We ended up picking up the slipcover, which is always fun right there. It might mess up the white balance and stuff like that. There's your back piece right there. Count Orlok, Skarsgård. Definitely one of the most transformative performances and one of my favorites. And even Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think all the actors and actresses in here nail it pretty freaking well. So like I said, slip. And I don't believe there's any reverse cover art or anything like that. And then we also have a digital code, which we will be, of course, giving away right there. So hopefully it focuses. Freeze it, pause it, get it, grab it. Nosferatu, the digital code. There's your disc. I wish there was disc art. That's the one thing, is like, I understand these releases are like this, they're kind of just plain Jane. At least it has the actual font from the movie. But in terms of, like I said, disc art, I appreciate that just a little bit of effort more. You know what I mean? But in terms of this film, like I said, it's dripping with atmosphere, and that's what I love about it. Is me, one big thing when I get into movies and horror movies and stuff like that, or just any movie in general. Another one, for example, is Blade Runner, the Blade Runner films. When it comes to Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, they're just films that I can get immersed to and sucked into that universe. Even Terminator, some of the early Terminator films, they just suck you into that world because of the atmosphere and the vibe and everything. And Nosferatu totally has a vibe, this film. And I think in terms of cinematography, it just looks gorgeous to look at. Like, there's so many shots that are like poster-worthy shots or painting-worthy that you would just put on your wall, and it would be a blessing to have them on your wall because they're freaking gorgeous. Specifically, like Nicholas Hoult, that scene when he kind of is going to go to the castle, and then he finally gets to like the woods, and just the way it looks, where it's almost black and white, but it's not really black and white. It's like so desaturated, but you can still see shades of blue. It just, it's so gorgeous to look at, and you see the carriage coming up to him and stuff like that. So very, very gorgeous. There's a lot of amazing shots in here. And like I said, performance-wise and actor and actress-wise, I think everybody does a fantastic job. They're all believable and some of the best performances that I've ever seen anybody give, for real. Like, I love Nicholas Hoult. I think did a good job. He's cool in Renfield. He did good as Beast, but this is probably his best performance in terms of a character. Lily Rose Depp, I've never really seen her in anything else, so this is my first experience with her, and I think she did great. Skarsgård, I've experienced him before. Of course, we know Pennywise and, of course, Barbarian, so he's been in other stuff, but he slam dunk, knocks it out of the park, and completely becomes the Count Orlok character in this film. So high praises to all the actors in this film. Another thing that is really cool about this film is just that freaking dread, that feeling of fear. Like, I really do feel the fear and dread and Count Orlok's presence throughout the entire film, and that's what makes it really creepy. In terms of this movie, the only negative or nitpicky thing, because I've watched it 3 times now, I saw this in theaters, I watched the Blu-ray when I got it, the theatrical version, and I also watched the extended cut, so I've seen this film 3 times. My only nitpicky thing is that when it comes to Nicholas Holt's journey to the castle, the passage of time isn't really handled that well. I feel like it would be a bit longer or feel a bit longer for him to get to the castle, and it kind of happens just like that. In terms of when he gets to Lily Rose Depp's character, you know, you see him with his, you know, facial hair, and it's kind of growing and everything, and he has stubble. So I understand the passage of time there, but just getting to the castle, it didn't really seem like there was an actual passage of time. But that's just kind of a really nitpicky thing, because everything else in this film is absolutely fantastic, and like I said, a slam dunk, and one that, like I said, I would have nominated for so many other Academy Awards and everything, because for me, I gave Count Orlok, you know, Skarsgård, the best acting performance, because to become a character, to forget you're watching an actor actually be a character, that's what happened when I watched this film. Like I said, I know Skarsgård, but to watch a film and see him just completely immerse himself into a character and forget that it's actual acting, that's expert stuff right there. And in terms of the special features on here, we do have some deleted scenes on here. Then we also have Nosferatu, a modern masterpiece, which is a featurette. And then also we have a commentary with writer-director Robert Eggers. So this isn't a bare bones release, of course. And now that I have this Blu-ray, for me, I'm totally fine with this. This film probably does look amazing and gorgeous as fuck in 4K. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to newer films, I've noticed that I'm more comfortable owning newer films on Blu-ray because they already look so good with the camera quality and the cameras and the equipment they use to shoot them, that sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, 4K for sure. Like the Godzilla films, some of those, it's like, yeah, you kind of want that in 4K because they look really good. But even the Blu-ray, I got Godzilla -1 on Blu-ray, and it looks fabulous. So like I said, when it comes to newer films, it's not a must for me to get it on 4K. It usually has to be a special edition or an older film I love, or just one if I don't own it at all, or it's a significant jump like Godzilla vs. Biollante. I'm going to be getting that on 4K because that's going to be a significant jump in format in my collection. I only own that on VHS, so to go from VHS to 4K, that's a huge jump, and that's why I want to get the Criterion release of Godzilla vs. Biollante. But thanks for sticking around me all for this video. Please like the video. That definitely helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and have that notification bell poked so you're notified anytime I drop a video, because you don't want to miss a thing. Coming up soon is going to be the Final Destination ranking video. I know you're all excited for that one, so stay tuned. But most importantly, y'all know what's up. Have a safe and happy day. Peace out.